Welcome back to Sorare Assist. Adam here. The end of season sale, as we know, is now well underway. And today I'm going to be highlighting some more top targets you should consider for your SO5 squads. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Grab yourself the Ultimate Guide to Sorare ebook written by myself, link in the description below. And if you're not signed up to Sorare yet, then use the link as well to get a free limited card and 13 common cards. Okay, so as we know, the end of season sale is now here, and today I'm going to be picking up the top targets in terms of price and quality for the SO5 scoring. Today I'm going to be picking players from the Spanish La Liga. If you want early access to these videos, then join my Patreon or become a member of this YouTube channel by clicking that join button below. Now, this content is financial advice and always do your own research. Okay then, let's get stuck in then. So I'm going to be starting with goalkeepers, then moving on to defenders, midfielders and finishing off with the forwards in this video today. So without further ado, let's get straight stuck in with the goalkeepers then. The first one I've gone for is Sergio Herrera of Osasuna, 28, an L40 of 51, L15 of 50. Currently his limited is going for around 87 and his rare is going for 795. Now look at his price, it's going for 1,600 here, 1,400, 1,400. More recently, someone snapped him up for £839 on auction, which looks an absolute bargain to me for a goalkeeper, especially a rare goalkeeper, because as we know, the common cards are not going to be able to be used in the SO5 tournaments, the rare divisions, come August. So looking at his limited then, £200 odd here, 240, 217, and more recently is sold for £87. As you can see, that's more than a 50% saving on this goalkeeper. Has got some fantastic scores here. Speaking of which, let's have a just quick look at his scores. So in the last year alone, he's kept 12 clean sheets, which is absolutely fantastic. He's also saved a couple of penalties as well, I believe, in this time, and this is probably highlighted by these two scores of 80. Very good keeper, still pretty young as well. Got a really long contract with Osasuna, which is always a good thing. Moving on then, the other goalkeeper that I found that I thought looked a decent price for his score output was Alex Ramiro of Real Sociedad. He's only 27 as well, got a contract till the end of next season. L40 of 54, L15 of 52. 188 for his limited at the moment, around 1,570 for his rare card. Now if I look back at his rare card back here, it was good for 2,400. 2,400, and as I say, more recently someone snapped him up for 1,800. Good saving here for a young goalkeeper. In terms of his limited card then, £300 here, 390 here, 389, and back here now he's going for 193 more recently. Absolutely fantastic saving that, again nearly a 50% saving. In terms of his scores, been really impressive this season. He's actually kept 21 clean sheets as well in the last year. So he's really good goalkeeper, this guy, really good, some fantastic scores here as you can see for a goalkeeper. So another really solid option at this price point for this sort of score output. We're on to the defenders then. Now the first one I've gone for is Gabriel Paulista. Now he has been injured quite a lot this season, but if he can get back to full fitness, it could be a really good option for your SO5 teams. He's actually got L40 or 57, L15 and 65, although as you can see he's only played 50% of those games, so that's something to bear in mind there. But you can get his limited for a very cheap 16 at the moment, and his rare for around 171, which is looking good for a Champion Europe forward. Now I've looked at his rare price back here, 357, 454 here, and 377, and someone's picked him up more recently for 176. Really good saving there. Terms is limited then. So there's an auction here for £62, £50 and 44. And more recently someone snapped him up for £15, which looks a really, really good saving to me. Now look at his scores then. So in the last year, as I say, he has been injured a few times, but as you can see when he is playing, he's getting some really good scores, this guy. He's got a really good 88 as well for the games he has played, so he's looking really promising. Look at all his scores as well that we've got available. As you can see when he was playing, he's got some decent scores for a defender. He's looking another really good potential option. He's also scored 7 goals and 3 assists as well in all the data that's available here, but this probably does cover around 2 years, so that's something to bear in mind. But it does look a very cheap option at the moment for a Champion Europe defender. Next up, I've gone for another defender who looks cheap to me as well, and that's Yuri of Athletic Club. Now he has got a long contract with Athletic Club until the June 2024. He's 32 now. He's got an L40 of 53 and an L15 of 55. So looking like some really good numbers here. Now at the moment you can get his limited for around £6 and his rare for around £80 on auction. Now if we go back here, it was selling for around 222, 217, 200 here. As I say, more recently someone's picked him up for £90. And his limited card, 23 here, 22, 17, and more recently £5 someone's picked him up for. For a champion Euro defender who's churning out these scores more recently after he's got over his injury worries, I think this is looking really good. And if we look at his SO5 scores in the last year, now he's back to fitness. As you can see, this is the period he was out. He's getting some really good scores. Also got 1 goal as well and 2 assists in this short period here. Looking a really good option for me, and it looks a really cheap price as well. So the next defender I've gone for is Ferland Mendy of Real Madrid. Only 26, got a long contract with Real Madrid till 2025. L40 of 57, L15 of 60. Going for around 62 for his limited and around 471 for his rare, which again, as I say, looks really cheap. Now if we look at his price graph, back here is going for 1,888 here. More recently someone's picked him up for 670 and that was a special edition card as well. If we look at this one here, 544. Again, another good saving there. And his look at his limited, 166, 158. More recently sold for around £90, £80. So again, another really good saving. For a defender who was playing at a top club. And in terms of his scores, he's got some really good numbers here. He's got 5 scores in the 70 to 80 range and 2 scores in the 80 to 90. He's also got a score in the 90 to 100 as well. And scored 2 goals and 4 assists in these appearances that we can see on screen. So again, looking a really good option. And of course, he's playing for one of the top teams in the Spanish League. So, moving on to midfielders then. The first one I've gone for is Carlos Soler of Valencia. Under 25, he's got a contract till 2023 as well with Valencia. L40 of 51, L15 of 52. He's going for around 62 for his limited at the moment, around 475 for his rare card. If you look at his price here, it was going for 1,333, 1,100 here. More recently, someone's picked him up for 554, which again is a 50% saving. If you look at his limited, similar story, 188 here, 150, 130, 140 here back in February, and now someone's picked him up for around £70 more recently. That's looking a really good steal to me. And if we look at his scores as well, he's got some absolutely fantastic scores. He's actually scored 14 goals and 5 assists in the last year. He's got 9 scores in 60 to 70, 5 in the 70 to 80 and 3 in the 80 to 90, and also a score in the 90 to 100 range. So looking at a really consistent player, this guy. Looking a decent choice at these sort of price points. Another good player is Canales of Real Betis. L40 57, L15 59. So really good numbers here in the L15 and L40. 52 for his limited at the moment, around 441 for his rare. Again, looking really good for a champion Europe midfielder. Now his rare was going for around 800 back here, 777 here, 663 here, and just in March. And now he's selling for around 441. Limited, 138, 119 here, 120. More recently, is sold for £50. Like I say, this is looking a really good bargain to me. If we have a quick look at his scores, got some really consistent numbers here. Probably a really good player for your threshold teams as well. He's going to get you consistently good scores here. He's got 6 goals, 10 assists in the last year as well, so looking decent. He's got 6 in the 60 to 70 and 6 in the 70 to 80. And he's also got 5 in the 80 to 100 range as well. So again, looking at another good option for your Champion Europe sides. And another fantastic option, and Mr. Consistent, is Dani Parejo of Villarreal. He is 33 now, but he has got a long contract with Villarreal until June 2024. He's got an L40 of 65 and an L15 of 59, which shows his quality. Now he's got a limited price of 125 at the moment and a rare of around 1,000. If we look at the price graph though, he was selling for 1,800 here, 1,800 here, 1,700. More recently, £1,000. So as you can see, that's a really good saving. And is limited, 350 here, 300, and more recently, 120. Now, let's have a look at his scores then. So, as you can see from the screen, he's got some absolutely brilliant numbers here. He's also got a really good all-round game as well, Pereggio, which really helps his scores. He's got 3 goals, 13 assists in the last year as well. So he really is Mr. Consistent, this guy. And he's got 21 scores in the 60 to 100 range in the last year alone. Really, really good player. Really consistent. I believe he's on penalties as well, is he, for Villarreal? I believe so. So he is capable of getting those goals as well. But his all-round game is really what serves him well. And he is capable of getting assists as well, as you can see, with 13 assists in the last year. So another good option. So moving on to the forwards then. And the first one I've gone for is Iago Aspas of Celta Vigo. He's 34 now. He has a contract till the end of next season with Celta Vigo. He's got an L40 of 59 and L15 of 59 as well. His limited is going for around 51 and his rare is going for around 455 at the moment. Now, if we look at his price graph, back here we're selling for 900, 790 and 686 and 481 more recently. And his limited was selling for 150 here, 140, 130. More recently, someone snapped him up for £49, which looks really, really good bargain to me. Now, in the last year, he scored 18 goals, 6 assists. His AA is looking fairly good as well for a forward. And he's got some absolutely fantastic scores as well, including a 100 score here. I remember this well because it helped me to a third position place in the Champion Europe Limited Division. So I was very pleased with that. He was my captain that day, so I remember that day well. He's also got some other fantastic scores as well, and he's actually won me quite a lot of cards, this guy, when he was in my teams. So he's looking a really solid option. Next up, we've got Munian. Now, this is a card I was recently won on Sorare Mega. Don't win many rewards on Sorare Mega, must admit that. But I did win this card recently, and I'm really looking forward to utilising him next season. So at the moment, he's only 29. He's got a contract until 2024 as well with Atletico Club. And he's got an L40 of 63 and L15 of 67. So he's really, really consistent, this guy. Now his limited is going for around 184 at the moment, and his rare is going for around £1,200. Now if we look at his rare back here, it was going for 1,400, 1,400. More recently, 1,300. So a little saving on this guy, but as you can see, he's got real quality. So his price has not really dropped that much. 191 there, 199 for his limited, and more recently someone's picked him up for 170. Slight saving on this guy, but like I say, it's a really good card, showing really consistent numbers as well, as you can see here. And in the last year he scored 4 goals and 10 assists, but it's his all-round game that's looking especially impressive for a forward, with 18.4 all-round game. This is absolutely fantastic. He's also got some absolutely brilliant scores as well. He's got 7 scores in the 80 to 90 range in the last year alone. This to me is looking absolutely fantastic, and is one that's going to be first choice in my teams come next season. Now next up we've got Nabil Fekir of Real Betis, 28, contract, long one until 2026. L40 of 61, L15 of 58. Now his limited is going for around 173 at the moment, and his rare is going for around 1,533. Now if we look at his price graph, he was selling for 2,600 back here, 2,800 there, and more recently 1,500. Looks a really good bargain, that to me. And his limited is 553 here, 500, 468. More recently, someone picks him up for 172. So as you can see, the end of season sale is still in full swing. People are still snapping up some bargains, and he's looking a really good option. Now, if we look at the scores then, so in the last year he's got 8 goals, 10 assists. He's got 2 100 scores thrown in there as well. And he's got quite a lot of the scores in the 70 to 100 range, as you can see from the bar graph here. So again, looking a really good option. Now, the final player for this week's video, and this is actually the final end of season sale video that I'll be doing as well in terms of each league. But I am going to be following up this over the next few weeks with my top 5 end of season sale picks from all the videos that I've produced over the last few months, while we're picking my top 5 in each position from these end of season sale bargains. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But on to Gerard Moreno then. This is an absolutely fantastic player. One that I've been wanting to buy for quite some time, but he's an absolutely fantastic player. Probably a good time to pick him up as well because he has been injured recently. And he's got a really long contract with Villarreal as well until 2027. So as you can see, that's potential 5 years of utility from this guy. And his limited is going for around 102 at the moment and 1,133 for his rare. Now, if we look back here, his rare was selling for around 3,300, 3,000 here, and more recently, someone snapped him up for £1,000. Now, whoever's picked him up here, they obviously know a good bargain when they see one. Limited card is going for 450 here, 430, 300. More recently, someone snapped him up for £109. That looks an absolute bargain to me. This guy is going to come back from his injury concerns this season, probably get back to his goal scoring best. He's scored 11 goals and 9 assists in the last year with these games that we can see on screen here. Like I say, he's got a few did not played. He's had his few injury issues this year. Hopefully he can get over those, and if we look at all his scores that we've got available, we can see that he's an absolutely fantastically consistent player. Now, with all the information we've got here, which is 96 appearances, he's actually scored 61 goals and 24 assists. As you can see, that is absolutely fantastic. Now, the ideal scenario that I'd look for here, if you want after Moreno, I'd always also want to buy his teammate Parejo. This is going to be a fantastic attacking stack for you guys who like your stacks. This is going to be a fantastic combination. And maybe one day I might be able to afford these two players and put them in my Champion Europe teams. Okay, so that was all the selections for this game week, for this week's video for the Spanish La Liga end of season sale. As I say, this is the last video for the end of season sale series, but I will be following up in the next few weeks or so with my top 5 picks for each position from all the videos and all the players I've scouted over the last few months. If you did like this video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you want early access to videos like this, then join the Patreon or become a YouTube member. Information is below. And pick up your Ultimate Guide to Sorare ebook as well, written by myself. Link for that is also in the description. And there's of course a link in the description for you to sign up to Sorare if you've not done so already. You'll get a free limited card and 13 common cards to start your collection today. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.